Benvenuto! Welcome to Cherry Hill Home Cooking. My name is Mark. Today we're going to go back to the mid-1970s and make one of my favorite childhood crockpot recipes that my mom used to make. And it's called, or we're going to call it, slow cooker cube steak. I think originally this recipe probably, I'm sure it called for what's called Swiss steak. And I think Swiss steak is just an inexpensive piece of meat, maybe bottom round, that's, cut somewhat thin. You can even bang it, pound it out a little bit more to tenderize it. But for some reason, my mother used cube steak, so that's what we're gonna do. All right, so what else? Well, what do we need? Okay, so I've got 4 pounds of cube steak here. I am doubling this recipe, so keep in mind if you're making it and it doesn't look like you have as much as I've got here. I would say a single recipe, my mom always did it this way. So, we always had more, but I would say that a single, without doubling this recipe, probably feed 4 people easily. We'd never just had 4 people. There was always, 20 kids from the neighborhood at our house. So, but in any event, so I'm going to double it. And the recipe will be for a single recipe, okay? So, I've got 4 pounds of cube steak. I'm pretty sure we've used cube steak before, at least in one other recipe. Cube steak is just an inexpensive piece of beef that they tenderize. It's also called skillet steak or frying steak, right? Because it cooks up really easy. It's thin in a pan. It makes a really good steak and eggs. All right, so then the magic ingredient, of course, to any good crock pot is some type of Campbell's condensed soup. This recipe calls for golden mushroom soup and, believe it or not, cheddar cheese soup. Okay, I'm showing you 2 cans, but I've got 4 in there. A few other basic ingredients. We're going to have about a cup of chopped peppers, and I've chopped them, like I would chop onions, a little less than bite size, a little more than bite size. Well, actually, that would be bite size, right? Peppers and onions, so about 1 cup each. Excuse me. We need whatever your favorite seasoned salt is, or salt and pepper to taste. All right, I've got that there. I always use 1 teaspoon. Again, in a single recipe, I'll put that down. The amounts will be in the recipe. Wade will type them up all nice for you, right?
Yeah, that's good.
We need Worcestershire sauce. And I know we've used this before, guys. This is called Gravy Master or Kitchen Bouquet. What is it? It's really a browning agent. It doesn't really... It's got a little flavor to it. It's got a little salt in it. I don't know what else is in it, but I mean, it used to be something we would see in recipes all the time, or is called Flavor Master. All right. Now, if you don't have this, I double up on the Worcestershire sauce, but this will keep forever in the cabinet. I don't use it all that often, but all right. So, and then we need a couple nice cloves of garlic, of course. The more the better. I'm not even going to chop them up or anything. They're going to go in the crock pot. If I get a big chunk of garlic, I'll be happy. And of course, we need a little bit of vegetable oil because we're going to fry up our steaks. Okay, so before we go on, normally, now you could dump this all in at once. I don't know why. I guess I'm strange, but I always put it, whatever my liquid is in my soup, whether it's going to be milk or water or or in my crock pot or the soups, all right? And I put the crock pot on high and I start to mix it together. I know why, because in my mind, everything's going to get better melded in there if we do it this way, all right? I don't know if it works or not, but all right, I'm going to throw my garlic in there. And we're going to throw all the rest of our ingredients in here. Our peppers, our onions. We'll put our seasoning in here. That's our Worcestershire and the Kitchen Bouquet. I think that's it, right? All right, so. And we're just going to kind of give that all a stir. Now you can, once we do the next step, you can just, oops, we'll move it over a little for Wade. You can, just dump it all in and stir it the best you can once you get your meat in there. All right, so that's on high right now. It doesn't really matter. All right, our next step, we got I always forget this one's hot. All right, so we got a frying pan on medium. All right, we're gonna take our little cube steaks and we're gonna kind of just dredge them in our flour. Oh, I did put a little bit of salt and pepper in here. Again, that will be on the recipe. Now, normally I would dredge these out. Now, you can see the cube steaks I bought were actually kind of long. I'm sorry, I cut them before. I should have saved one to show you. But they were kind of double like that. Now, you can keep them like that. I like them a little bit smaller. Or sometimes they come in smaller sides like that. They're not long like that. Anyway, I'm not going to bother doing these all because we'll do that off camera. But, so you want to get it pretty coated. Now, is it 100% necessary for you to brown them? No. I think browning them gives you a little bit more color. It gives you a little bit more flavor. So you don't have to brown it. All right, and then we'll take some. So we got our nice warm pan. It's not screaming hot, but it's warm. We'll put a little bit of oil in there. And I will turn it up a little bit. And while that's heating up, we'll flour a couple more of these. Now, we're going to have this exactly the way my mother would have made it, or my mother did make it, with instant mashed potatoes. Sorry, Lisa. Every time I say that, I feel funny that I'm using instant mashed potatoes because I tell you to go out and buy really, really expensive Italian cheese, but I use instant mashed potatoes. It's kind of funny. I like instant mashed potatoes. It's what my mother always used, especially with something like this. I think the only time we had real mashed potatoes probably was when, Thanksgiving, or I should say real mashed potatoes, caught one Thanksgiving or Christmas. And I think that's right, because my mom had long nails. She liked to keep her nails manicured, and I don't think she liked peeling potatoes. All right, let me rinse my hands off one more time so I don't keep you here all... Okay, so our oil's heated up. And we take our dredged beef and put it in the pan. I wish I got a little bit more sizzle. I'm going to turn it up a little bit more. So we'll talk while I wait for that. I'll have these all done before we leave you. But yeah, so not only are we going to have instant mashed potatoes, we're going to have good old canned peas and carrots. Because again, that's what my mom always made for side dishes with this. I'm just going to get that hot so that it gives it that nice sizzle for the next one we put in. Again, always with frying, our idea with this is we're not totally cooking it, we're just browning it. So you don't want to put too many in there at once. So you don't want to crowd the pan because it's going to, a little moisture will be released and you'll end up steaming your steak more than frying it. And look at what a mess I made. And we'll do this one because it's nice and square. All right, is this one going to give us a... Yeah, it's not a high BTU burner there. So, all right, so there's like, yeah, we're going to let that get just a little bit browner. All right, we'll be back when these two are all nicely browned. Then I'll brown up the rest of them, and we'll show you how to complete this dish. All right, guys. As you can see, that's just that we want a nice kind of crisp brown on there. That one's ready to turn. Look, you got a little bit of brown caramelization in the flour. Let's see how this side is. I turned that over a few minutes ago. So that one looks good to go, okay? And we're just going to put it in our soup. Give this one a couple, or in the crock pot, I should say, a couple more seconds. All right, I'm going to do that with all of the beef. And I'm going to put it all in the crock pot, and we'll be back when that's done. All right, guys, our cube steaks are all nicely browned on all sides. I should have told you earlier, while you're frying, keep your vegetable oil handy. You'll want to add a little bit more in if you need it. It doesn't have to be deep fried, but you want a nice coating on the bottom, all right? So I've got all the rest of those in there. We got our last 3 pieces. I'm not even going to worry about pushing those down, or those will be a nice little presentation. As the soup fully, gets warm, it's going to rise up above it anyway. All right, now the only thing left is put on the glove and push this out of the way. And I'm going to unplug that to make sure. All right, so. Alrighty, so I'm going to change it to low. All right, so I'm going to cook this on low for about 6-7 hours. If you want to do it on high, I'd say 4 to 5. I'm going to let it go 7 because will be right around our supper time. All right, and I can select this, go to 7 hours, put our top on, and in about an hour, the house is going to smell absolutely delicious, and we're going to have to sit here. I'm going to go out shopping. But anyway, we'll see you at dinner. It's supper time! Yeah, let's dig in. Now I'm hungry. I don't think you'll need a knife to cut this.
No, definitely not. No.
Ooh, it smells delicious, especially when you cut into it. You really. Let's see.
That's so good.
Delicious. Oh, that's so tender. And surprisingly, it's beefy tasting too.
That's delicious.
Yep. Every time I have this, it brings me right back to being a kid, coming into the house from school, and it's smelling delicious.
Yep.
Delicious. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed making our cube steak, slow cooker cube steak, or whatever we end up calling it. I hope that you make it and let us know. Hey, one other question. For those that you've waited to our tasting, I should probably asked it earlier. I'm thinking of getting an air fryer. I've been so reluctant to get one. I have a beautiful deep fryer that I don't use that much. I saw some YouTube videos about air fryers, especially how wonderfully they heat up pizza and stuff like that. Not that we eat that all the time, but anyway. If anybody's got one, let me know. Do you use it? Do you like it? Is it just taking up counter space? That's all I can say.
Yeah, just leave notes in the comments. And please like and subscribe and check out cherryhillhomecooking.com. We'll see you on the next video.
Ciao.
Bye. Delicious.
I like it. Good.
Yep.